Mercury retrograde season begins now. On November 7th, Mercury steps into 6 degrees of Sagittarius. It will slow down and it will keep moving in the sign of Sagittarius until on November 26th, it stations retrograde on 22 degrees of Sagittarius. And then it stations direct on December 15th. Now let's talk about the other aspects going on. But before we do that, I just want to mention to look in your chart to see if you have anything between 6 to 22 degrees of Sagittarius, because that planet or aspect or point or fixed star or whatever asteroid will be affected by this Mercury retrograde season. It's good to take note, to dot the I's, to pay attention to all the themes around communications, around messaging, around conversations that may come up at this time because you are going to be doing a review, um, sort of a race step on that path. I can't think of the proper terminology for that right now, but you're going to be retracing your path as Mercury goes retrograde over these areas of life. Of course, correction. That's the word that I was failing to connect to. Course correction. You're going to be doing a course correction in Sagittarius house between 6 to 22 degrees. So let's talk about the other aspects going on November 7th and 8th. So the very, very first aspect happening is on November 7th. The moon is going to trine Uranus. So the moon is our emotions. The moon is our sort of subjective view of reality. It can be how we nurture, how we take care of others. And Uranus is the wild card. Uranus flips the table over. Uranus makes you have lightning bolts of awakening and flashes of insight and liberating proofs that make you more authentic to who you are. So when the moon is in a beautiful, harmonious trine with Uranus, this is wonderful for feeling more free to express yourself openly now. You feel more free to express yourself on an emotional level and express what resides in your heart and mind. Your inhibitions are lowered. It's a good time to not be afraid to act impulsively, to really, really release the fear of acting out of impulse. Because when you act out of impulse at this time, your endeavors will succeed. There may be freedom without causing upset or chaos that you may have in your life. If you were to be free, if you were to be liberated, it would not cause problems in your life. It would be very amuse bouche. It would be very um interesting, very amusing. So that's sort of what it would be if you were to liberate yourself now. Where do you need to sort of open up the windows to fresh energy, letting the fresh air into your life? Where you need to change up stagnant, stale things in your life that need altering? Where does there need to be changes in your life? What do you need to change in your life? Now's the time to change that. If you were to form a more stable relationship, then another transit would be more helpful to this because this transit is sort of juxty, very wild, erratic, very stimulating. I want to do this right here. I want to do that over there. So it's very sort of all over the place. You're feeling like you want to bounce, jump from one thing to another. And so it's not good for stability. It's also not good for anything requiring hard work and patience. Anything that requires a long time, where there's not that instant gratification, maybe another transit would be more suitable for that. So this is good for breaking habit patterns that no longer serve you as well. Um, you may be very drawn to people um, that embody originality, that show their unique authentic, original selves. For anyone who embodies this quality, you may be very drawn to anyone who's maverick-like, who rebels against the status quo, who wants to stand out, um, and go at their own path, sort of thing. It's also important to remain flexible and open-minded towards new opportunities that you have. So, whatever those opportunities are, be open-minded toward those things at this time. There is a need here for newness and novelty. This is about us seeking out experiences that liberate us. It's very, very important to be mindful of what changes you're making to make sure that they do not disrupt the stable, long-lasting, hard structures in your life that are rock hard, rock solid. Because your need for change and freedom might disrupt a certain structure that has to be in place in your life. So be mindful of how much you're exuding this freedom. It's important to have newness with thoughtfulness. Doing new things, liberating yourself, marching to the beat of your own drum while respecting your relationships. This is highly important now. Another aspect happening is that we have the moon sextile Neptune. So, Neptune is the planet of dreams, illusions, empathy, compassion, unconditional love, just to name a few things. So, when the moon forms a balancing, harmonious sextile with Neptune, we need to examine what routines can you renovate in your life that can support your sensitivity. Whatever helps you support your sensitivity, what helps you makes you return to a calm, centered place where you're protected, you're safe, you're loved, all is well. You have guardian angels around you, you have support around you, you have unconditional love around you. It's important to know that and put yourself in a situation where you genuinely feel safe on an emotional level. It's also good to look at how you can nurture your artistic talents as well. So how can you be more artistic, painting, sculpting, maneuvering, book writing, whatever the artistic talent is. This can be a time where nurturing that can be very productive now. This is good for showing selfless acts of kindness, selfless service, serving others in selfless ways, genuinely wanting to help others, genuinely wanting to make a difference, genuinely wanting to be of assistance support to another person. These selfless acts of kindness out of compassion is what is called for here. If there are any negative energies that drain you, it's important to draw healthy emotional boundaries to those things, to those people that drain you or pull you down energetically for whatever reason, in whatever way that they do. It's important to be receptive to subtle energies, and a heightened sense of empathy may come about at this time. So you may be more receptive to these energies, and you may be more feeling more empathetic now. So it's time to honor that empathy that you have. It's important to set aside time for self-reflection and self-care as well. Setting aside that time is very, very important for whatever you need to do to go into reflection and to take care of yourself in physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual ways. It's important also to trust your inner voice, which can lead to self-understanding and self-compassion. So whatever helps you become more compassionate and understanding of yourself, now it's time to go in that direction. And any activity that grounds you, whatever it is, maybe it's praying, maybe it's getting out in nature, whatever it is, now's the time to do that activity now that puts you in a centered, grounded place. Another aspect we have going on is that the moon will oppose Mars. So the moon's in Cancer. Um, excuse me. The moon is in um, Aquarius at this point. So it's more intellectual. We're more observing our emotions instead of getting caught in our emotions. We're more prone to intellectual discussions rather than emotional discussions. The moon will oppose Mars in Leo, in very vibrant, courageous, generous Leo. So this may make for heightened emotions. So our emotions are more heightened. We're feeling things on a more emotional level. This may make you more excited, but also easily able to be irritated. So it's important to examine this now. Conflicts may be more likely. You may put yourself in emotional conflict with somebody in your life, either a family member or friend. You may feel like you have a hot temper, very short fuse with things. You might feel angry or irritable. There can be challenges with female relationships. Female relationships are very important to look at now because there may be challenges in those areas. If you vet your feelings, there may be a likelihood that you may say something that you later regret. So be mindful keeping things inside in a healthy way, internalizing them, and expressing your emotions in constructive ways, not explosive, reactive ways where you are saying something that you may later come to feel guilty about. So there may be swings from emotional intensity to warfare as well. So being mindful of this is very important. It's important to um, understand that if you were to physically exercise now, then this burns off intense and pent-up emotions, anger, fear, jealousy, um, depression, whatever it is, it burns off these emotions. And it can be very therapeutic. Exercising at this time could be very healing, very good, very, very healthy for you on a mental, spiritual level, and very therapeutic. On the other side of physical exercise, you will find yourself after you've done this physical exercise that you come to a state of inner peace, calm, and balance. And any practice that you can take to reflect on yourself is good to do now. Now, we have the moon conjunct Pluto at the very, very last degree of Capricorn. So, what does this mean when we have the moon conjunct the planet of death, rebirth, and transformation, but also power and how we exude our power? Well, what this means is that this is a great time to dive into our psyches and confront our shadows, to really, really do this deep psychological shadow work for ourselves. On the other side of this is empowerment, self-empowerment, because we've done the process of transformation, changing slowly but surely from one person to another, shedding old skin, becoming someone new, letting things go, and evolving in healthy ways like this. So transformation is a slow process. It's a slow brisket cooking process. How brisket needs to take time to cook um, low and slow, transformation requires a lot of time. So it's important to be patient with this. And so power struggles and conflicts may reach their climax now. So any power struggles or arguments or battles may reach their peak, may come to a head now. You may find that your emotions are much more intense and urgent at this time. Um, and so it's a good opportunity to understand someone's true feelings about you, understand how they truly feel about you. Understanding this can be liberating and empowering. Choose the right relationships for you that serve you, that make a difference for you, that support you in your journey of life. It's important to moderate your actions if they are excessive, if they are too much, if they're over the top, if they're just liberating off the Baton Rouges sort of thing. You're overdoing something, so it's important to moderate yourself. Jealousy, guilt, tripping, manipulation, threats, and domestic violence may be areas of focus right now. So it's good to be mindful of these types of emotions and situations. Emotions can make it difficult to focus on anything else because they are so deep. Your emotions may be um, very, very, very deep. Um, so these emotions may make it challenging to um, to put your focus on anything else now. It's important to express your deepest truths now. It's important also to let go of whatever emotional pattern is no longer serving you, whatever that might be for you. You may have a deeper understanding of how you operate on the mental realm, um, and may how you operate yourself on the psychological level, how you what are your psychological motivations for why it is you're doing what you're doing. It's important to look at that very closely. So, how you function on a psychological realm may be very, very important to put your focus and attention on that. And so emotional resilience might be a very, very powerful thing at this time. And so another great thing to do at this time is to journal, to really put pen to paper and to express your intense feelings, your very deep-seated feelings onto paper, letting that out of your system, putting it into conscious writing form, doing that healing work. This transit can also shine a light on the truth of our relationships. What are the true feelings of the people involved? What is the truth of what is going on in your relationships? How you and the other person feel about each other and the underlying issues of relationship. Now's the time to shine a spotlight on those arenas. You may also feel emotionally raw now, so just know that you may feel like your emotions may be unfiltered, unprocessed, they're real and raw. It's good to let those emotions, those real and raw emotions out in healthy ways. So this can also bring about opportunities for healing and spiritual growth also. Now the card that I pulled, I'm using for Oracle cards for these videos. I'm using the Sacred Traveler Oracle by Denise Lynn. It's a 52 card deck and guidebook, as you can see. And the card that I pulled is Vast Vistas, as you can see. I hope that you can see that. Vast Vistas. Expand your horizons, that's what it says. So this is not the time to think small. This is the time to think big, to expand your mind, to expand your perspective, to broaden your horizons, to learn new things, to go to a new place and learn this thing, to read up on the books of Juddels in this, to put the scraps in the feeding tube and really see a new way of how they go down. Really, this can also be not only going beyond what you know and stretching your mind, but this can also be it's a good time to nurture your goals and aspirations. And and so nurturing these things and choosing a path from the many, many paths that you have, having the confidence and self-assurance, pick a path and go down that path. This is what is asked for now. Now, let's move on to November 8th. The very first aspect happening today is that we have the moon coming into a sextile with Mercury. When the moon is sextile Mercury, the planet of communication, thought, how we process and learn information, this makes communicating your feelings through written or spoken words healthy now, or communicating your feelings in whatever way feels comfortable to you, whatever way serves you. This is good to do that. To really communicate your feelings and let those feelings out in one way or another. It's good to speak what is on your heart and mind at this time. Um, are your interactions authentic? Are th- is there genuineness and truth in your interactions, or is there not? Make your interactions more genuine and true to yourself at this time. This is good for creative writing or journaling. It's important to examine. It's important to look at what narratives or limitations can you release from your life right now. So, what are the limitations and beliefs and storylines that you can let go of your life that holds you back from being who you truly are? It's important to understand that growth is a journey, not a single destination. And so this is good for communicating your feelings in an articulate way, really articulating your feelings. You may find that your emotions balance out with your logical thinking, that these things are in tandem now, that these things are balanced out. This also promotes understanding and cooperation. This is also about working together with other people and understanding what they're experiencing. It's good to connect with others intellectually while also maintaining empathy and sensitivity for others and yourself. Yeah, the moon is going to sextile the north node. So the north node beckons towards growth, evolution, happiness, contentment, and meaning in your life. It's opposite the south node, which is a pull towards the familiar. So when the moon sextiles the north node, you're preparing to go through a huge transformation, a huge shift in your life. Are you receptive to the love and guidance of those around you? So, um, this is a very, very good question to ask is, are you receptive to that love from those around you? You may have a heightened imagination. Your mind may become more open and receptive, also adapt, as well. So, so your mind is more open to new things, open to receiving things, but also adaptable towards changing, bending with the wind, bending like a bamboo, open to new ideas, this kind of things. This is good for aligning your values with social trends as well. This is good for putting yourself out there in the public stage because you will feel more open to do this at this time. Are your intense feelings and irrational fears clouding your judgment? That's something very important to look at now. So, are your feelings and fears clouding your rational, logical sense of the decisions that you have to make? Boom, 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 sort of things you have to decide. In the left brain, the Avalon bike rack areas of life where you have to do that work that you have to do. It's important to allow this aspect to guide you towards a greater sense of purpose as well. And the final aspect going on today is that we have the first quarter moon in Aquarius going on. The sun is in Scorpio, the moon's in Aquarius, they're squaring each other. So this represents conflict and tension. So you may feel the need to test the waters. You may feel the need to create chaos and change and excitement in your life because we are talking about Aquarian energy after all. It's important also to take pauses to navigate the emotional energy at this time, to process your feelings, to really sit with your feelings and move through them. It's important to breathe and take deep breaths, calm yourself, ground yourself. It's good to do that now. It's good to process both your internal and external experiences also. This is good for communicating your needs and boundaries to others in a way that respects um, both you and others. So communicating, I need this space, I need this boundary, I need to shuttle the booty kinks. I need to fluff the round pillows. I need to build a wall between you just for this temporary amount of time. So asserting these boundaries are very, very important now. It's important also to remain level-headed now. You may have a deeper understanding of how to navigate emotional challenges as well. Something about Aquarian energy is that it can be quite impulsive, uh, and disruptive and unpredictable because it's ruled by Uranus, planet of sudden changes and unpredictability. You're going on a certain path, but then something just forces you back onto another path. So that's Aquarian energy. So you never know it's coming when Aquarius is around. Aquarius also rules science and networking, and technology. So networking, connecting to other people via technology, Zoom, Skype, whatever it is, chat, whatever the medium might be for connecting to others. This is a good time to interact with other people via technology. It's good to expect the unexpected. Nothing will work out the way you think that it will. Anything will happen and probably will. There may also be difficulty and tension in the home and family life. So you may have this going on. The head and the heart may not be working together well as they usually are. This is a good opportunity to face challenges head on, to come face to face with those challenges, confronting them, and go through the challenges, rise above the challenges, and work with those challenges. So the card that I pulled for this particular day from the Sacred Traveler Oracle is Rainbow Blessing. Blessings are showering your life. So it's important to look at, are you open and receptive to the blessings in your life? Are you open to these things? Are you available for these things? Know that there is so much abundance and around you. It's time to count your blessings for all the things around you. Time to look around your house and write down what are the things that you feel grateful for? What are the things that you feel blessed by? What are the things that you have that you can celebrate and honor? Knowing that you are very, very blessed. Paint that painting, carve that pumpkin, initiate what you want, and you will succeed. So if you, initiate what desire to have happen in your life, you take the action steps to work towards that, then you will succeed. Where do you need to change things up in your life where things are, very humdrum? And it's good to have gratitude towards all the things that you have, counting your blessings for all the things that you have in your life right now, not looking towards what you don't have, otherwise known as the hole in the donut, looking outside of the donut at the things that you do have, really seeing the glass half full in that kind of way. So thank you for tuning into this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. Please click that like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.